All right, guys. So I'm going to start off with the 3 basic rules of a handstand. The first is just getting comfortable on the ground. So let's come on down here to the ground. So what we do here at the Monkey Bar Gymnasium is we always start people butt or heels to the wall. So we're going to turn around here. This is the easiest way to teach somebody how to do a handstand. We don't care if they just walk their feet up 1 step and come back down. The main thing is that we just want to get people comfortable with their hands on the ground like so. And then they're going to have their feet on the wall like this. Might have your hands a little further out underneath your head. And then you're going to hike your butt up here. And then you're going to take 1 leg up to the wall. And then the second leg up to the wall. And from here, you're just going to hold it. And then when you're done, you're going to come down quietly. Now, your objective when doing that, and that's a handstand, is to create a straight line. We don't want our butt sticking out. We don't want our back to collapse like this. We want a straight line. So, not doing gymnastics where we would go to a hollow position. We're going to just try and work straight alignment. So when I'm here, work the hands evenly into the floor. That's the first step, because if your hands are rotated where your big knuckle is lifted, that immediately starts to collapse the elbows. And then the shoulders start to collapse as well. So our rule is hands are spread. Weights down the middle of the hands. Arms are straight. From here, keep that weight spread on the hands evenly and keep the arms straight as well. Let's get the butt high in the air, and then let's take that 1 leg back up and hold this position, and then come back down quietly. Now, what you just saw is the simplest way to do a handstand, but we're just getting our feet wet. First, focus on the hands. Second, focus on the arms being straight. Third is, I want you to focus on keeping your eyes lined up with your thumbs. And then smooth up the wall, smooth down the wall. We're going to do this 1 more time. Spread the hands. And when your feet are against the wall, I want your hands lined up with your eyes. Your thumbs lined up with your eyes, okay? From here, keep your eyes lined up between the thumbs and hike your butt way up. Keep your eyes lined between your thumbs. Put the foot up the wall and the second one up the wall. And then from here, you tuck your chin. You are in the perfect handstand position. I'm extending from the heels of my hands through the heels of my feet. Now what you might see, if you see a hollow position, you're going to round the back like this. If you see collapse, you're going to see collapse where the lower back drops forward like this. We want straight line, okay? And then I'm going to look, connect my eyes with my thumbs, and quietly come back down to my knees. One of the most important things while doing handstands is control up and control back down. So we had a couple simple rules there. Eyes lined up with thumbs, arms are straight, okay? And those are 2 rules when you're walking up the wall facing with your body, your eyes and stuff facing the wall, okay? Like I just did. That's step 1. When you can do that for at least 30 to 60 seconds, then you can start to work on manipulating your hands a little bit. And that's what I'm going to do now. So, Jesse, if you want to come maybe to the front side a little bit more, okay. Maybe they can see. Do we have to have it plugged in or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we're good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to walk my hands a little bit. This is still beginner level stuff. So I'm here. Yeah, you can move back a lot.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go to step 2 for beginners. Eyes lined up with thumbs. Lift the hips. Hands are flat, arms are straight, eyes lined up with thumbs. I'm going to put 1 leg up, then the other leg up. Now, I want to move my legs a little wider, and I want to walk my hands in a little closer. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to move the hips and slowly lift up 1 hand. And then as I get better, I'm going to touch my own shoulder. When I'm done, I can walk my feet back down with control. Okay, now this is very important, my friends. Everything should be a smooth transition from one side to the other side. And if you're doing it really well, you'll notice that it's not a quick shift of lift your hands, but I'm literally trying to think of pushing one hand into the ground and slowly lifting the other hand, and then pushing the other hand into the ground and lifting my other hand. This is what progresses you to smoothly walking on your hands, doing a one-arm handstand hold, and advancing to much higher levels of handstands, okay? Now, when you can do 60 seconds of holds here, or you can do 20 shoulder touches, then it's time for you to start to learn how to kick up into a handstand, heels to wall. Now, this is what is more advanced, and this is the bigger challenge. Our biggest challenge will be free handstand that we might have time to do today. But the guidelines for the strength level or the power level, folks, which we have, which I'm going to show you now, it's just heels to the wall. So we're going to basically apply the same rules, but now we're going to go with our back to the wall. Okay, she's doing an excellent job.
This is really challenging.
Not easy. It's not like she can look through a camera here. All right, so remember my first cue for you guys, don't be too far away from the wall. Because if a person hits the wall and comes down with their head here, they can tweak their neck. That's not smart. So you want your hands about 1 foot from a wall. Now, remember those rules that we started off with. Hands are spread, weights down the center of the hands. Arms are straight, okay? Now from here, I want to line my eyes up with my thumbs, okay? Now I want to walk my feet up. Now this is the third point that we didn't do before. I'm going to lift one leg up here. You want to keep that leg, if you can move it up a bit, huh?
I got it.
You want to keep this leg rigid, because if this is loose and my midsection is loose, you're going to lose a lot of the integrity of the body in order to do this right. So I'm going to demonstrate what I want you to do first. You're not kicking up all the way. You're just kicking up and getting a rhythm. Make that back leg rigid. Now my bottom leg is lifting while I keep a rigid line from my head through my back heel. And I also keep my eyes lined up with my thumbs the whole time. So for step 2, which is back to the wall and you're kicking your heel up to the wall, your first objective is get a rhythm. Get so that you can kick up and down with control and that you never stop, so that you can do it 10 times in a row, nice and fluid. And then when you can do that without feeling like your back is collapsing or having your head move forward and back, because this is what happens a lot of times. People come here and then their head comes past their thumbs. You don't want that. If you bend the elbows, if your eyes go past your thumbs, or if your back is collapsing, we don't want any of those things, okay? So we got to practice that rhythm so we don't lose those points. Keep your head lined up. We don't want it going forward. Keep your arms straight. We don't want them bending when you kick up. You keep that line from your head through your back heel rigid until you can just kick up all the way and then lightly touch your heels to the wall. Then you have a handstand. You hold it, then slowly, with control, come back down to the floor. Now, that is much more challenging than the first level handstands that we were practicing. The first level, everybody can get really quite simply. It's the kick-ups that are a big-time challenge for most people. The part that they don't understand is you got to have the integrity of the body, keep connected. You got to keep those arms straight, and you don't want to move forward in front of your eyes past your thumbs. If you can keep those things, then you're good. Now, the last thing that we're going to cover today, because we're running out of time here, but we're going to do a part 2 of this, handstand walking and some other things next time. It'll be a lot more fun. There are some cool tricks we can do. But what we're going to do now is teach you guys how to kick up to the wall and then balance with your hands. Now this part that most people have challenge with. The balancing part is exactly like how we stand in balance on our feet. It's exactly the same. So what happens a lot of times when we're on our hands, people just kick up and think that they're going to balance with their legs. That's not true. You balance with your hands. So if any of you guys remember Michael Jackson videos where he was standing there and then he started to lean forward and then he'd come back and then he'd lean forward and then he'd come back. That's the exact same thing we're going to do on our hands. If we feel like we're falling, though, we're leaning. You got to lean forward in a handstand. Your hands are going to grip the ground.
Just like your toes grip the ground.
Exactly like your toes grip the ground when you're going forward. That's why I like to show people this, because right now my toes are gripping. It's the same in a handstand. Jesse's going to show you my hands here. I'm going to kick up nice and quiet to a handstand. And then if my hands are gripping, you'll see a little grip of the ground there. That helps to pull my legs off the wall. And see how my hands are moving there? That's what you want. You want that gripping action with the fingers. Now, I'm going to kick up. I'm going to use my fingers to pull my feet off the wall. That's where then I want you guys to practice for phase 3. When you can do a handstand, gripping the ground and pulling your feet off the wall, and you can hold that for 30 to 60 seconds, then you're ready to start to learn how to walk on your hands across the floor. And that's what we're going to do in our next webinar. We're going to teach you how to do handstand walking across the floor. So the last step here is going through all the steps again. My hands are about 10 inches, 8 to 10 inches from the wall. Hands are about shoulder width apart, fingers spread, weight down the middle of my hands. My eyes are lined up with my thumbs. Okay, from here, I hike the butt up, I lift one leg up, and I start a rhythm. And then keeping my arms straight, keeping my eyes lined up with the thumbs. Then I kick up all the way to a handstand. From here, I can bring my head to neutral, squeeze my legs together, extend from the heel of my hands through the heel of my feet. And now here's where I'm gripping the ground with my fingertips. And it's a balancing act of gripping and releasing the ground. And then when I'm done, I quietly come back to the ground. Control up, control down. Super, super important, my friends, because I see a lot of times people kick up really hard, slam into the wall, and then they go down. We never want that. We never want anybody getting hurt. The handstand is an amazing exercise, like Jesse said, for energy, for confidence, to develop balance throughout your whole body and strength throughout your whole body. So the steps are: get level 1 first, so you can hold that for 60 seconds. Go to level 2, where your back or your heels are going towards the wall, and get control there, so you can do that for 60 seconds. And when you can do that for 60 seconds, you're going to be ready for next week's webinar, where we're going to talk about walking on your hands, and you need to be able to balance with your toes off the wall a little bit. So you're going to practice that a little bit. And then we're going to start doing the free handstand walking and some tricks next week. Guys, hope you join us and share with your friends, and let's have another good time next week, all right?
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.